side. Hold up your hand, let the stars shoot again.
Good morning, America.
ABC News honored winner of 9 Edward R. Murrow Awards, more than any other network, including winning for the 3rd straight year the award for overall excellence in television. ABC News is America's #1 news source.
Nothing in the freezer, right?
No, nothing.
May 18th is always a difficult day for Selma Raven. 8 years ago, her 21-year-old son, Michael, a passionate health food advocate known for his "no one should go hungry" mantra, passed away. Today, Selma finds herself honoring his memory by doing what he loved most, feeding their neighbors in the Bronx.
He was a catalyst for this, but what's running it now is the neighborhood, the people, and really the whole community behind it.
Selma, along with her partner Sarah, started what they believe was the first community fridge in the Bronx just as the pandemic began. Every day for the past year and a half, they spend time stocking a curbside fridge full of fruits, vegetables, sandwiches, and other essentials, all free of charge thanks to local donations.
It's people in the neighborhood, it's pantries nearby, it's larger organizations once in a while saying, hey, we've got some extra food. We've gotten the farm to come on, and now they're doing drops once a week, bringing large quantities of food from organic farms upstate.
It's all about feeding the need, and the need is great. Just as quickly as the food is delivered, it seems to disappear. Selma and Sarah estimate their fridge alone is feeding 220 people a day, with neighbors volunteering to help keep the pantry stocked around the clock and facilitate donations. In Brooklyn, Beatriz Perez and the taxi cab service she works for are running an operation of their own.
See it, it's just a plain office, and then we set up the tables.
Her boss noticed community fridges popping up on social media. She says their Phoenix fridge is helping more than 1,000 local families get meals weekly.
We lost a lot of drivers. They passed away because of COVID. So we saw the need for our tenants. It's given us a different meaning of life. We've become very family-based with many people who come for food.
Bronx-based artist Laura Alvarez has taken note of that new meaning of life, all because of Selma's friendly fridge.
I think I've seen the change in the culture. Like before, you didn't matter if 2 apples will go to waste in your place, but now instead of letting go to waste, you bring them to the fridge, you leave them there, and maybe there's something that you might want to get.
Laura has painted designs on 12 different fridges now, illustrating the message behind their mission.
Take what you need, leave some for others, coge lo que necesites, deja algo para los demás. That was something that we decided to write on the shed and on the fridge, because when we started, it was basically free food, and that was creating some issues on people coming and just taking the whole fridge. So we decided to word it a little different, and that way it's been working pretty well.
The concept has worked so well that locally sourced community fridges have spread throughout New York City amid the pandemic, thanks in large part to In Our Hearts NYC, a grassroots organization that helps connect fridges and food suppliers with hosts through social media. The group has had a part in setting up fridges outside bodegas and apartment buildings in every borough and has now expanded their reach to help other communities battling food insecurity. Chicago, Nashville, Los Angeles, and Miami, just to name a few. And the need continues to grow.
Our estimates are more than 60 million Americans reached out and got support from the charitable food sector in this country during the pandemic. We continue to see elevated levels, and the challenges we faced were just the sheer demand, the levels of need out there.
There are certain fridges where as soon as we drop off food, within an hour, it's empty. You'll see our cars pull up and then immediately grab everything.
So many people are displaced. I just believe that we as a community can help each other, and we have all the power to.
This is a Band-Aid to a very big
problem within the country. There's a real systemic issue in this. Living in this country of America, we have an abundance of resources, and everyone should have access to food no matter what their situation is.
And while many fridges are finding creative ways to keep their help-yourself pantries stocked, most lack the resources to truly solve food insecurity in their neighborhoods.
We've never received any funding. We sit for hours applying for grants. This is a genuine interest. Even though you see this food now, it'll be gone in about 30 minutes. And fridges all over. We need like trucks, we need transportation. We need agencies understanding that there is a real need. Why do we need to go through all these like red tape to get funding?
But Selma and Sarah say they'll keep on pushing to try to combat food insecurity at the neighborhood level, continuing Michael's mission with each meal.
I think he would be very proud of us. He was a big believer in, together we can really make a big difference. Neighbors helping neighbors.
Americans choose ABC News, America's #1 news source.
The ladies you love, the hottest topics happening now. There's only one place to find it all.
You guys are having the hard conversations. I love The View.
The most watched #1 daytime talk show is The View. Now streaming on ABC News Live.
It was a scary time. In the 70s, you had multiple bodies showing up in Los Angeles.
There were so many murders happening. You had to have a name for it, serial killer.
There was a human head in there. This was premeditated evil.
You have this clock. This person is going to do this again.
It's me against the killer. Who's going to win?
We'll see who laughs last. Pow.
What came next was unlike anything they had ever seen.
ABC News honored winner of 9 Edward R. Murrow Awards, more than any other network, including winning for the 3rd straight year the award for overall excellence in television. ABC News is America's #1 news source. With so much at stake, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 newscast and the #1 program on television.
Michael Strahan, Spaceman Strahan. He's going to be our eyes and our ears for this groundbreaking expedition.
It's incredible that we could even do this.
They are in zero G.
You realize how small you really are.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime journey.
I will be blasting off in the next Blue Origin space launch.
You're a brave man, Michael.
History is about to be made in just a few moments. 2, 1. Just 4 months ago, I was reporting on Blue Origin's first human launch.
We need to get good at going to space. This is incredible. So that we can protect this planet.
Blue Origin has been checking all the boxes for new space records. Oldest, youngest, and now tallest.
Blue Origin asked if I wanted to be a crew member. Without hesitation, I said yes.
These are exactly the kind of people we want to be able to fly on New Shepard.
I'm excited. I'm ready to go.
Good morning from a beautiful Van Horn, Texas. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this incredibly exciting Saturday morning.
Astronaut Stray, how do you read me?
Stray is good.
You are looking live at the New Shepard rocket, where our very own Michael Strahan and 5 other civilians are inside.
As you can see, the hatch is closed.
Folks, you are watching now as we are under a minute.
And when it actually happens, we're going to be screaming and hollering. God knows what else.
And we are 30 seconds. It is time
This
to launch
shot happens to give us a view of Stray on the left there.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Remember to look out the window and just enjoy the ride.
Because you know where you're heading. Michael Strahan, to infinity and beyond.
-10, 9, 8.
It's a momentous occasion. It's another chapter in space history.
4, command engine start. 2, 1.
This is historic. It's historic.
Wow.
Only 600 and something people in the history of the world have done this.
It's like a glove.
To be a part of that makes it even more special.
You're gonna go to space in this. Look at you.
Oh yeah. In fact, yeah, just keep changing the arms. You're like these, looking up, and like this kind of vibe. I'm trying to be a little bit silly.
Maybe I'll get a role in the new Avengers.
You got it, exactly.
Since this is an active launch and test site, I needed a full safety briefing.
If you feel unsafe or uncomfortable, we will get you out of the situation. We want you to say timeout. Kevin and I will then cease whatever operation we're in the middle of until it's safe to do so.
That only applies here. I can't take that home with me.
You can certainly try it.
I can try it. I don't think it'll work.
The other phrase that we want to teach you is, I will not fly. And this is a phrase we hope to never hear from a New Shepard astronaut, but we will take it very seriously.
I'm a little nervous. I mean, you always get nervous, but when you learn about the safety and all the protocol that put you at ease.
For your training. Work together as a crew. Star of the show here is the RTS Tortoise. So why don't we go ahead and take a step inside and check her out. We have 6 seats in the capsule. As you walk into the hatch, directly to your left is seat number 1, and it goes all the way around clockwise to seat 6. You're doing great. I thought you'd have to really be hunched over more, but yeah.
I mean, I'm not exactly straight.
Yeah.
It's very, very interesting. We learned a lot about the operations here, what to expect. I saw a lot of videos of past flights. Talked a lot about safety, had a chance to sit in the capsule, went through a simulation as well, and had a chance to meet a lot of great people. My crew members have been fantastic. We had a chance to do a dry run of walking, up to the launch tower to where we're going to get into the capsule.
As you pass, we have the official New Shepard bell. You ring that on your way across. That's our tradition. And if you notice on the top of the arch here, this is Alan Shepard's famous quote, "Let's light this candle."
Rolling out through the doorway, Alan Shepard, slated today to be America's first man in space.
Laura, what do you think he would be saying to you right before liftoff?
Well, he'd probably tell me that it was going to be a beautiful view and that I needed to look at the view.
The beautiful view up here between the mountains is not it's high, but it's not as high up as I thought it was going to be. I'm going to be a lot higher than this, so this better not be too high. But definitely very excited. The closer we get, the more of these things that we do, when we're on the launch tower and walking across the bridge, ringing the bell, the more you know that this is the reality. Then we went back into the classroom and learned how to get back into our seat when we're at 0G, which is actually a lot trickier than you might think it is.
The biggest limitation of training to go to space on Earth is we can't simulate zero gravity. However, the technique that we have for getting back in the seat, you can execute it in 1G and do all of the motions. By the time they get into the 0G environment, they know their steps cold and they just execute it. You ready to try this, Michael?
Ready, Captain.
All right, here you go. You're clear to egress. There you go. You loosen up, feet out, pop the harness. and then float out.
Oh, I've been doing something for everybody. Get over there. You're still looking out of a window that's in a studio, basically. Yeah. So you don't have the full effect, but you do get the feeling and the nervousness from that I can only imagine gets heightened when it's actually the real thing. And when that happens, I think it sinks in. I think that's when you really go, wow, this is actually a real thing. We're gonna be extremely excited. We're gonna be screaming and hollering. God knows what else we're gonna be doing, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. Remember to look out the window and just enjoy the ride.
Astronaut Stray, how do you read me?
Stray is good. Loud and clear.
Good morning from a beautiful Van Horn, Texas. We're just a few moments away from liftoff.
He hopped in a vehicle and took a short drive, about 10 minutes getting out to the launch pad. You can see there who's driving. Yes, Jeff Bezos himself is giving Strahan a lift.
This is incredibly exciting. I can feel my heart pounding.
Spaceman Stray, as we have been calling him. It felt a little different to watch a friend of ours go up that tower. Joining Michael, we have what's going to be the first parent-child duo to go to space, Lane Bess and Cameron Bess. Also, Evan Dick, an investor and software engineer, also on board. Dylan Taylor, a businessman, the founder of the global nonprofit Space for Humanity. And then, of course, Laura Shepard Churchley, the eldest daughter of the first American in space, Alan Shepard. That was 60 years ago this year. This is part of the tradition. They all six of them went by, rang that bell, letting everybody know they're about to get in that capsule, and there they are, and they have sealed it, so the countdown is on. And all of these astronauts do get a carry-on, if you will. They were all asked what personal items they'd like to take.
I am taking my retired Giants jersey.
Number 92 to the rafters.
My Hall of Fame ring, my Super Bowl ring, some special watches. And the most special thing to me, when my father passed away and they had his military funeral, the bullets that they fired from the guns, I'm taking those with me to outer space. It makes me feel closer to him. And when we get back to Earth, each item that we brought on board is going to get a special certificate saying it's traveled to outer space.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are 30 seconds. It is time to launch this rocket.
Minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, command engine start, 2, 1.